You know, it was told to me that if you're going to be long winded, make sure you have a glass of water. If you have a lot of thoughts on your mind, make sure you have a lot of time to be able to express it. You know, as I sit here right now, I got a lot of stuff going through my mind, a lot of things I want to say. I want to articulate it the best way I possibly can to let you know how I feel, and perhaps you will be able to relate to it. About 3 hours ago, I got back home from Austin, Texas. Little weekend getaway with some friends of mine that we've been friends for about a good 3+ years or so. And we had an amazing time, a lot of fellowship, just a lot of good vibes. Hated to say goodbye to each other, honestly. And they're like family to me. Like, even though we're not blood related, they are family to me. How many of you out there can relate to that? The friends that you have that you consider to be family. Or how about this? How many of the friends that you have are actually more family than your own blood? We can't help what family we're born into, but we can get to a point as we age to choose the tribe in which we choose to dwell with. Not everybody has a great relationship with their mother. Not everybody has an amazing relationship with their father. Some of us don't even have cordial relationships with our siblings. And there's so many different avenues in which we can go down as to why that is. Perhaps trauma or issues, family, things happen. But the fact of the matter is that at some point, you have a choice as to who you call your family and who you choose to not call your family. Some people have this old mindset of, hey, that's your family. You can't leave family. You can't just divorce your family. You can't. I'm like, wait a minute, let me stop you right there. So, what if your actual family is abusing you mentally, constantly putting you down, never really supporting anything you want to do, belittling you, gaslighting, keeping you in the box, so to speak. So, you mean to tell me, for those of you out there who feel like family is everything, that we should continue to allow family to abuse us in this way? Is that how you want to live your life? Or do you want to find people who will support you, who will be there for you, who will help you in your time of need? And just because they're not related to you doesn't mean that they can't or they don't have the ability to treat you better than your own family. A lot of you know that I'm telling the truth because some of you are in that position right now. Some of you have friends that if you're in trouble, they'll be right there. If you need some money, they can shoot you a Cash App or Apple Pay or whatever the case may be. You start a new business, they're the ones sharing it on social media. While our family, our blood family that is, just sits on standby. I my relationship with my family is okay, not the greatest. However, I can't ignore just the trajectory that it has manifested in as I got older. Because when we were kids, when we were younger, everyone was close. And it seemed that when the older generation passed away, like my grandparents and stuff, my great grandparents, when they died, and, we aged, all of us kind of started just going this way and going that way and just doing our own thing. And eventually families begin to come out of these unions. And then, for it, nobody has time for anybody anymore. And the only time in which we would see each other is for a funeral. I always say give your flowers to those that you say you love when they're alive, when they can smell them, when they can see them, so you can see the excitement on their face, not when they're laying down in a casket where they can't even, they're not there. They're an outer shell of themselves. Too little, too late. Family. I just will never understand why it seems like people that are not even your blood would be more ride or die for you than your actual folks. Now, this may not be all of you. Some of you may have amazing families out there. Some of you may have fathers that will do anything for you, mothers that will do anything for you, siblings that will be there for you no matter what. But the fact remains, there are a lot of you out there who do not have that. I have read in comment sections on videos I've made to where people just have terrible relationships with narcissistic moms, with absentee fathers, or just downright wild siblings that they just cannot seem to resonate with. And just because you have the same blood doesn't mean that you're going to be relatable in various different things. You may disagree on morals. You may disagree on other views in life. I'm not saying that's a reason to just cut each other off, but some people can be so toxic that when you do disagree with them, they have a way of making you feel bad and poking at the bear like they can't agree to disagree. Now, this is supposed to be family now, by the way. I have family members that I can't talk to about certain political views. I have certain family members that I don't even believe I can even get through to them about religion. All while I have friends that we can talk about anything. And I mean anything. Without any commotion, without any animosity, without getting loud or rowdy or angry. All of that stuff right there is just, those are boundaries that we just don't cross. And we have a mutual respect for each other. Like, yo, you believe this. That's cool. I don't believe that, but you can do that. Or I don't believe this, but if that's what you want to do, bro, as long as you ain't hurting anybody, fine, it's cool. And we just go on about our day and that's it. I saw a quote one time that sometimes your family won't support you until you have actually made it. Until you've made something of yourself, that's when they will congratulate you. That's when they'll pat you on the back. That's when they'll say, job well done. While the people who are not even your blood have been there since the beginning. When you were down and out, when you didn't have any money, when you were struggling, when you were trying to put the pieces together to the experiment that eventually evolved into a successful business, they were there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here just attacking blood family, but what I will not ignore is that just because they're blood does not mean that they're for you. And you should not let anybody manipulate you because of that. There are women who have horrible relationships with their mom, constantly telling them who they should marry, what they should wear, that they're not this and they're not that, and they're not going to find a husband, and yada, 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 instead of like praying for your daughter or giving her some advice or giving her some space, better yet. But then those young ladies take that and they say, well, that's my mom, that's mom, etc. Like, no, that's abuse. That's what that is. I know a man right now who's on his second wife. He was married previously to a woman that he actually cared about, but his parents did not like her for whatever reason. They just didn't like her. And they kept saying, like, they kept nitpicking at her. Well, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that, she doesn't do that, she doesn't do this, she's a bad wife. And they kept feeding him this over and over and over. Now, this is 100% his fault, but he eventually caved in and divorced this woman. All because of the negative external energy that he was receiving from his mom and dad. And they kind of hint at the same thing with his current wife. And I had to tell him, listen, bro, you were like 40 something years old. What are you doing? Why is your mommy and your daddy dictating who you marry and what you do in your household or who you should marry? Cut them off. Sounds like blasphemy, I understand, but cut them off. You can love them from a distance. Because some parents, they will, even though you're grown, they will constantly still look at you like you're that little child. And if they look at you like you're a little child, there will never be a boundary there for them to not cross. And then, therefore, no respect will be shown your way. Again, just because they're your family, your parents, does not mean that they have your best interests. Now, I do believe, in the Bible it says, honor your mother and your father, for all of the days upon earth, for all of your days upon the earth shall be long if you do so. Cool. But that doesn't mean you have to tolerate them. That doesn't mean they have to be in your life. That doesn't mean that you have to let them abuse you. That's not what that means. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me life. I appreciate you, but you're not going to sit here and disrespect me. You're not going to talk down on what it is I'm trying to do with myself. If you're not supporting, then what are we really doing? And that just goes with anything. Like, why do some of you have people in your life that don't support you, that don't back for you? And I'm not even talking financial. You got family members who won't even share your stuff on social media. Like, it's free. Share it, retweet it, whatever. Tell somebody, word of mouth, help a brother out, help a sister out. But yet your friends, they're always doing it. Like, to me, it sounds so backwards, but numerous times I see it constantly, even within my own family. Like, I can honestly tell you that I am a lot closer to my friends that are all over the country. My three best friends, which are in Mississippi, Chicago, and Baltimore, we're like brothers. I'm more closer to them than my actual brothers, who don't even know I'm alive right now. The establishment of those relationships kind of went out of the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can try, you extend the olive branch to see, yo, let's do this together, let's do that together. I know for me, I've always tried to extend an olive branch towards my siblings, but everyone's too busy. You make time for who you care about. You make time for those that you love. Period, point blank. And the fact is, I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm very, very selective with the people that I have in my life. As all of you out there, regardless of however old you are, you should be selective with the people that are in your life. If they're toxic, they gotta go. Doesn't care if they're family or not. If they don't support you, gotta go. If they're bringing you down, gotta go. Seriously. Blood may be thicker than water, but water is essential for life. Quote that. There are friends that I know who will take a bullet for their best friends. Likewise, I know family members who wouldn't even give you $20 if you were short on your rent. This is the reality that we live in. And it sucks. It's sad at the end of the day. And I know there's somebody out there that's sitting here right now watching this video and you're thinking like, man, I feel you. Your family may be like that. I just hope that you have done all that you possibly could do to establish a relationship with your family. Like, don't take this as me saying just eliminate your family completely, but make sure you've taken those steps to try to establish relationships and connections with your people, and that you've made several attempts to make it work. And if you've done these things and the result is still the same, then you do what you got to do at the end of the day. Because again, the people that you begin life with aren't always the ones that you will end it with. I know this sounds sad, but it's real. It's the truth. Everybody doesn't come from a perfect family. Everybody didn't have nurturing parents, supportive parents. Everybody didn't have cool siblings growing up. Some people rival with their siblings. Some people go back and forth with their parents. It's tiring. It gets tiring. And the older that you get, you will realize your tolerance level is not as high as it once was when you were a kid. And once again, you will have to make a decision as far as who you want to be in your life. I believe we all need people in our life that pour into us, that add value to us as well. When you're around people who add value to you, you become more valuable to other people to see that within you. If you're around people who are just being leeches and sucking you dry and your energy and taking you down, making you feel horrible and your confidence in the ditch, what good are you going to be in life? How far do you expect to really go if you're going to continue to get mentally screwed just because these people are family? Wake up. I'm all for love. I'm all for unity. But I care more about a person's mental health. I care more about a person's peace. I care more about a person's confidence. And anything that is disturbing those things has to be dealt with. Because if it's not, your quality of life is going to be horrible. Find your tribe. Find your people. You're not dreaming. Because I'll say it again, some of your friends are more family to you than your actual blood. I know we don't want to believe it, but it's the honest truth. And there it is there. If you felt this, comment down below. I want to talk to you. Tell me your story. I want to hear your situation, your circumstances. Let me know. Like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share it as well. Share it on your social media. Let's get this channel up. Thanks again, everybody out there that is supporting the channel. Those of you who are new to the channel, we got a lot of content coming your way. Hopefully, y'all have a great night. God bless. Peace.